Across Zimbabwe's sweeping wilderness, where the Zambezi River carves through ancient landscapes and the sun bakes the earth into shimmering gold, survival unfolds with relentless intensity. This is a country defined by dramatic contrasts, dense mopaine forests opening into vast grasslands, quiet floodplains giving way to rocky highlands, and tranquil horizons hiding moments of sudden, violent conflict. Zimbabwe's wildlife lives under the constant pressure of an unforgiving climate. During the dry season, waterholes shrink into muddy lifelines, drawing countless species together in fragile, uneasy truce. Predators patrol these last pockets of life, knowing that hunger sharpens their instincts and that opportunity comes only to those bold enough to seize it. When the rains return, the landscape transforms, but so does the struggle. As territories shift and competition rises along with the renewed abundance. From the elephant corridors of Hwang to the riverbanks near Mana pools, every creature is locked in an eternal test shaped by instinct, resilience, and the rhythm of the land. Survival here is not simply a confrontation with predators, it is a battle against heat, scarcity, rivals, and time itself. In Zimbabwe's wild frontier, life is a fragile triumph. Every heartbeat is a victory, and every day lived is a testament to the enduring spirit of nature in one of Africa's most demanding landscapes. Across the African savanna, especially in Zimbabwe, the struggle between the wilderness and its apex predator, the lion, feels endless. At daybreak, soft golden light washed over the plains, glinting off every dew-soaked blade of grass. From within the dim thickets, a pride of lions slipped forward through the shallow wetlands, their gaze locked on the horizon. Not far away, a vast column of Cape buffalo trudged toward fresher grazing grounds and much-needed water. The herd eventually reached a watering spot bordered by rich, green growth. For a moment, they relaxed shoulders, lowering, tails flicking lazily as they drank without concern. Meanwhile, the lions fanned out. A few drifted to the left, while others sank low behind the shrubs near the muddy shoreline. Step by step, they crept into the marsh, closing the distance with deliberate patience as they waited for the perfect opening. Then the stillness shattered. The pride's leader unleashed a thunderous roar, signaling the assault. Chaos erupted instantly. Buffalo scattered in frantic bursts, hooves pounding, horns slashing the air as fear overtook the herd. In the confusion, one animal, a weary, older bull, lost its position and lagged behind. The lions shifted their strategy at once, encircling the isolated target with ruthless coordination. Hearing the pounding of paws, the bull spun around, fury burning in its eyes. It lunged forward in a desperate attempt to break through, but the lions closed in from every side. One sprang onto its back, claws sinking deep. Another seized a hind leg. The buffalo bellowed and bucked violently, fighting to escape the tightening trap. The rest of the pride soon converged, forming a ring of muscle and teeth. Attack after attack came from every angle, each movement precise and practiced. Outnumbered and exhausted, the bull finally collapsed beneath the pride's relentless force. Dust drifted slowly back to the ground as the savannah fell silent once more. With the sun climbing higher, the lions gathered around their fallen prey and began their feast. Golden light slips through the canopy, warming the forest floor beneath it. A troop of baboons emerges, weaving between trees and bushes as they scan the area for their morning meal. Their search eventually brings them to a shallow lotus pond, packed with tender stems, roots, and other watery snacks. They start digging through the mud, lifting out lotus shoots and crisp roots, munching and passing pieces around while enjoying the cool morning breeze. The baboons spread out across the pond's edge, foraging for fresh blossoms and edible roots. Out of nowhere, two dominant adult males tense up, shoulders raised, lips peeled back as they challenge each other for control of the troop. In a sudden burst, they lunge forward, teeth exposed and arms swinging. The forest erupts into chaos. Their clash is vicious snarls ripping through the air, fur flying, and heavy slaps echoing around the clearing. The two males crash into each other, again and again biting, clawing, striking, and yanking out clumps of hair. Dirt sprays upward with every tumble, and their screams carry far through the trees. The rest of the troop bolts in panic, scrambling up trunks and clinging to branches while watching the fight with a mix of fear and curiosity. Eventually, one male gives in and retreats into the brush, leaving the victor standing tall and silent over the pond. With the tension fading, the troop regroups and moves on, still hungry, still driven to keep searching for their next meal. Deep in the wild heart of Zimbabwe wanders a clever and tireless hunter, the African wild dog, Lycaon pictus. These predators embody speed, coordination, and remarkable social intelligence. Unlike domestic dogs, African wild dogs survive through powerful group bonds built on cooperation and loyalty. Every pack member has a role, and their collective discipline is the secret behind their extraordinary hunting success. Packs typically consist of 2 to 20 individuals, led by an alpha pair whose decisions guide the group. Their unity is strengthened through grooming, unique vocal calls, and shared triumphs in the hunt. Their greatest strength lies in their ability to move and strike as one, where every action is deliberate and failure is rarely an option. Unlike lions that rely on ambush, wild dogs depend on endurance, teamwork, and unbroken pressure. Sooner or later, their prey weakens, surrounded with no route of escape, and the kill swift and efficient. Becomes a necessary act for survival in nature's unforgiving rhythm. As evening settles across the grasslands, the pack gathers once more, stomachs full and noses lifted toward the wind, ready for the challenges of the coming day. These painted wolves, as many call them, are far more than predators. They are a symbol of harmony and cooperation in the wilderness. Though not the largest of Africa's carnivores, Lycaon pictus is one of the most respected. Their hunts are carried out with the discipline of well-trained soldiers. While lions depend on strength and leopards on stealth, wild dogs plan each movement like seasoned generals. A hunt begins with careful observation, studying herd behavior, identifying weaknesses, and predicting escape patterns. Guided by the alpha pair, the pack chooses the perfect moment to strike. The first step is encirclement, a strategic dance across the plains. Escape paths are cut off one by one, and panic floods the prey at the center. A subtle shift in posture is all the signal the pack needs. Then, with explosive timing, the chase erupts. Unlike solitary leopards, wild dogs succeed through stamina, swapping roles so that some chase while others recover. Exhaustion eventually overtakes even the strongest animal. The wildebeest falters a single mistake. That is all the pack requires. The lead dogs surge forward, jaws locking around the flank with surgical precision. It ends quickly. The pack closes in, ensuring the prey cannot rise again. They may not be the biggest or loudest hunters, but pound for pound, they are among the most efficient. Each successful hunt adds not only nourishment, but knowledge wisdom that spreads through generations. They do not chase glory. They chase survival, and they survive together. Even in the frenzy of feeding, order remains. Pups wait, observing the adults, learning the rules of survival while tasting the reward of future hunts. This is more than a meal. It is a ritual of unity, an instinctive lesson written into their blood. But vigilance never fades in the wild. Ears flick, eyes narrow. From the distance comes a familiar cackle. A hyena approaches bold, hungry, and uninvited, marching straight toward the center of the feast. The wild dogs tense, then erupt into snarls, unwilling to surrender their hard-won prize. The hyena, armored with thick skin and crushing jaws, holds its ground. But the pack has numbers. They close in, forming a tight ring of snapping fury. The hyena growls defiantly, but the odds are clear. Outmatched, it finally retreats into the tall golden grass, leaving behind a fading echo of frustration. The pack returns to its kill, now more alert, their unity tested and strengthened once again. Under the shade of the trees, they rest bellies full, bodies tired, spirits steady. Resting atop a small rise of earth, a leopard lies motionless, perfectly blended into its surroundings. In the distance, herds of zebras and impalas graze without concern, unaware of the watchful eyes fixed upon them. The leopard sinks lower, muscles tightening, its gaze locked on an impala, wandering too far from the safety of the herd. Slowly, it climbs partway up a tree trunk, studying every movement of its chosen target. With soundless, deliberate steps, the leopard begins its approach, using tall grass, shadows, and absolute stillness to conceal its advance. The impala grazes alone, just far enough from the others to be vulnerable, yet completely unaware that it has stepped into a lethal trap. Then, without warning, the leopard launches forward. A blur of power, fangs, and raw intensity streaks across the open terrain. Startled, the impala bolts, scattering dust as it races in frantic desperation. But the leopard closes the distance quickly, its strength and accuracy undeniable. With a powerful leap, it crashes onto the impala. The impala kicks wildly, fighting with every ounce of energy left, thrashing in a frantic attempt to break free. But the leopard's grip, his unyielding jaws locked tight, muscles tense and unwavering. The impala's struggles grow weaker, its movements reduced to fading twitches as exhaustion overtakes it. The leopard drags the fallen prey into dense undergrowth, disappearing into the shelter of thick bushes. Hidden from scavengers and danger, it settles down to feed in quiet safety. The African open-bill stork, Anastomus lameligerus, is a striking species commonly found in wetlands, lake shores, and seasonally flooded grasslands across much of Africa. Its plumage is typically black or very dark brown, often showing a bluish sheen when caught by sunlight. The bird's most recognizable trait is its unusual bill, which appears slightly gaped even when closed. This unique adaptation allows the stork to grasp and extract its preferred prey snails, clams, and mussels with remarkable precision. Adult African openbills stand about 80–94 cm tall, with long legs, an elongated neck, and a slow yet elegant stride. Their specialized feeding technique involves using the sharply edged bill to grip a snail's shell, twist it, and deftly remove the soft body inside. These storks are often seen waiting motionless along the edges of lagoons or marshes, patiently watching for movement before striking swiftly and accurately. While freshwater snails make up most of their diet, they also consume insects, small fish, and various aquatic invertebrates. By regulating populations of snails that can harm crops and aquaculture, the African open-billed stork plays a valuable role in maintaining ecological balance in wetland ecosystems. Sunlight filters across the dense mopane woodlands and sprawling bush willow thickets. A herd of hartebeest drifts steadily over the open grasslands, their alert eyes sweeping the shaded spaces beneath the trees where predators may lie in wait. Depending on the season and environmental conditions, these herds can number anywhere from 20 to more than 300 individuals. The hartebeest is the last surviving member of the Alcelaphus genus, an evolutionary lineage specialized for long-distance travel across vast savanna landscapes. Their unusually long legs are built for speed, enabling them to break into rapid sprints when danger approaches. Their high-set eyes provide an expansive field of view, allowing them to detect threats from far away. When alarmed, hartebeest typically escape in a straight, powerful dash, reaching speeds of up to 55 km/h. If they cannot flee, they defend themselves with their long, sharply curved horns, measuring between 45 and 70 cm, forcing even the most capable predators to reconsider an attack. In Zimbabwe, the warthog is a distinctive figure of the grasslands, often seen close to the ground as it moves through the terrain. Unlike many animals that retreat from the intense midday heat, warthogs remain active even during the hottest hours. Research on their movement patterns shows that warthogs spend roughly 60–70% of the day foraging, with activity peaking in the early morning and again in the late afternoon. Pregnant or nursing females typically extend their feeding time beyond that of males, driven by higher energy needs. With their curved, scimitar-like tusks and stout bodies, warthogs are capable diggers, excavating deep burrows where they retreat at night. Those tusks also serve as powerful defensive weapons. During the dry season, when green vegetation becomes scarce, warthogs often feed while kneeling to conserve energy. Though primarily grazers, they can turn to carrion, insects, or even small animals when food is limited. Despite their modest size, warthogs are far from defenseless. Adults can charge head-on with their tusks and sprint at speeds reaching about 28 mph. Females defending their young have even been observed confronting mid-sized predators, such as jackals. However, their presence along the edges of the Sahelian acacia savanna can create ecological and human-wildlife conflicts. In times of prolonged drought, warthogs may wander into buffer zones and raid crops such as rice, peanuts, and cassava, leading some local communities to view them as agricultural pests. They are also known hosts of the tsetse fly, an insect capable of transmitting African sleeping sickness, adding another layer of concern for people living near warthog habitats. With fewer than 5,000 individuals remaining across Africa, the black rhinoceros is listed as critically endangered by the IUCN. Only 3 subspecies survive today, each struggling within fragmented landscapes, while the western black rhino was officially declared extinct in 2011. Although smaller than the white rhino, the black rhinoceros is still an imposing animal, standing up to 1.8 meters at the shoulder and weighing as much as 400 kilograms. Its skin ranges from deep brown to slate gray, allowing it to blend naturally into the bushveld. Its most recognizable feature, the horn grows continuously and can reach lengths of up to 1.5 meters. But this symbol of strength has tragically become the creature's downfall. Highly prized in parts of Vietnam and China for traditional medicine and as a luxury status item, rhino horn drives an illegal trade that has pushed this ancient species to the edge of extinction. Yet in the wild landscapes of Zimbabwe, the fight to protect the black rhinoceros continues. Against all odds, these efforts offer a fragile but meaningful glimmer of hope for one of Africa's most iconic and endangered animals. The Cape buffalo, one of Africa's most iconic and formidable herbivores, is also among the most heavily hunted. Every year, over 20,000 deer are killed to supply the trophy hunting industry, making the species a symbol of both awe and tragedy in the wild. Adult males can stand up to 1.7 meters at the shoulder and stretch more than 3 meters in length, weighing as much as 725 kilograms, comparable to a fully loaded four-wheel drive vehicle. Renowned for their immense strength, Cape buffalo possess a massive frame. extraordinary power and an unwavering determination to protect themselves, making them the continent's most formidable grazers. Their thick, dark hides shield them from the blazing sun as they roam. Water dictates their movements. Buffalo rarely wander more than 16 kilometers from rivers or swamps, following the lifeblood of the landscape. Yet it is their collective defense that truly defines them. When danger approaches, the herd tightens. Its formation, calves are driven to the center, while adults create an impenetrable wall of muscle and horns. The buffalo's curved horns, joined at the base, form a natural shield capable of fending off even toppling a charging lion. When escape is impossible, they do not flee. They stand their ground and fight. The shoebill is one of Africa's most unusual and mesmerizing birds. Its enormous, shoe-shaped bill, nearly a foot in length, can snap shut with enough force to seize and crush large fish, water snakes, and even young crocodiles. Often standing perfectly still for hours among the reeds, the shoebill resembles a silent, stone-like figure in the swamp. This stillness is a flawless ambush tactic, allowing unsuspecting prey to wander dangerously close. With a wingspan exceeding 8 feet, the bird can take to the air and glide slowly over the wetlands, almost without a sound. Despite its ancient, almost prehistoric look, the shoebill is a remarkable product of evolution, an expert blend of power, patience, and precision. With its piercing gaze and statuesque posture, it rightfully earns its title as the silent hunter of Africa's swamps. In the thick undergrowth of Combretum and Terminalia bushes in central Zimbabwe, the African crested porcupine emerges quietly after nightfall. When threatened, it can raise quills that reach up to 16 inches in length. An intimidating yet passive defense system that has proven highly effective. During the dry season, when food becomes scarce, these porcupines travel deeper into the woodlands to search for roots, tubers, and bark. Despite limited resources, their specialized digestive system and efficient nutrient recycling abilities allow them to remain in good condition. Sharing this region is another creature that has evolved an entirely different approach to survival: the patas monkey. Instead of hiding or burrowing, it relies on speed and openness. Racing across the grasslands. The patas monkey is the fastest primate in the world, capable of sprinting up to 34 almost twice the speed of most African monkeys. Its slender frame, powerful hind legs, and long, whip-like tail, nearly matching the length of its body, provide balance and agility. With a reddish-brown coat, a light-colored face, and bold black markings around the eyes resembling spectacles, the patas monkey is visible even from afar. Living in small daytime active groups led by a dominant male, they travel constantly in search of seeds, insects, and other small food items. Their unmatched speed dramatically lowers their chances of predator encounters, reducing risk by an estimated 40% compared to slower primates in the same habitat. Not every species survives by dispersing quickly or staying in constant motion, like the patas monkey. But for them, speed is the difference between life and death. As the sun sets over the plains of Zimbabwe, the marks of the day's battles remain etched in the dust. Every predator and every prey have played their part in an eternal game of skill, strength, and endurance, where survival is never guaranteed. In this unforgiving land, each encounter, each chase, and each instinctive choice sustains the delicate balance of an ecosystem that has thrived for millennia. Beyond the raw intensity of these struggles lies a vital message: wildlife must be protected. Every creature, whether small or mighty, plays a critical role in keeping the natural world intact. Their stories remind us that conservation is not optional. It is our responsibility if we want future generations to witness the beauty and resilience of these incredible landscapes. If this journey into the wild has inspired you and highlighted the value of life in all its forms, like this video and subscribe to Hidden Planet TV to continue exploring and learning about the animal kingdom and its preservation.